market. So I've been with EA for 11 years. I originally joined Waterfall Productions in '97. So first couple I worked on was Dungeon Keeper 2.
Nice.
Then after doing Dungeon Keeper 2 and Theme Park on PlayStation 2, I then moved on to set up Harry Potter, which I then ran for the next 4 years.
And that's been a long-going sort of franchise with EA.
Yep, that's still going now. It's just after 4 years I decided that I needed to change.
Sure.
To move on to something else. In which case I moved into EA Partners in Europe. EA Partners looking after third-party AAA developers rather than being internal development. And I've been there for the last few years, working on a number of deals, many of which are still not announced, but one of them obviously being Crisis at a Crytek that we've been working with for the last 3 years.
Crisis was probably the biggest PC release of last year.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And were you happy with how it was received?
Yeah, I think it was a great title. I think we met the goals of what Crytek they wanted a sequel to Far Cry that was sort of a direct sequel, but they wanted a title that came out after Far Cry that was
sort of like a spiritual successor.
Yeah, absolutely. There was another 90-rated title, and I think that we know that they got that, and we know that they were happy. We just like the score to be higher, but with a 91 Metacritic, I think they were very, very happy with the quality of that title.
Yeah, no, totally. With the sort of, obviously, one of its huge selling points was its visual quality. A very, very good-looking game. What do you think about the way people took that? Do you think that skewed their opinion of it as in, yeah, sure, it's a good-looking game, but does it play well? You know, do you think people put it down just because of that? Or?
No, I think if you're in the PC first-person shooter market, then I think technology is always a key driver. So I think that to come out with a first-person shooter that doesn't have great technology is very difficult.
Counterproductive.
It's counterproductive. Yeah. It's very difficult to be successful.
And I guess the physics are another huge part of the whole engine. I've seen a lot of videos of exploding barrels. There's a few of those around. So, what do you think about the sales figures of Crysis in general compared to the console market? For example, Uncharted, probably one of the more disappointing sales results for the PS3. Still sold more in America than Crysis. Like, what do you?
So I think we just announced Platinum on Crysis.
Okay.
So I think from the EA's perspective we're very happy, and I think from the Crytek perspective they're very happy with the sales. I mean, obviously a PC title, solely PC titles, will not sell as much exclusively. Thank you. Looking for PC title will not sell as generally today does not sell as many titles. Sorry, as many units as we do on console, as Call of Duty 4 shows. You know, when we put that on PC and 2 console units, you can sell a lot of units.
Do you think you'll look at bringing it out on other platforms like the 360 and the PS3?
Well, like all those things are under consideration. They were under consideration last year, and they're certainly under consideration now. But as of today, there's no announced plans for that. And
I heard you mentioning before that you're into your first-person shooters. You still like Counter Strike.
Yeah, absolutely.
You played Call of Duty 4. How would you rate Crysis in terms of the online functionality and the features that it brings compared to some of the other titles like, for example, Call of Duty 4? Do you think they're in a completely different subgroup, or what?
Yeah, I actually do think they're in quite different subgroups. You know, and again, you know, we're looking at Call of Duty 4 to Crysis or to Counter-Strike or Favorite. All three of them actually are quite different, you know, online gameplay experiences. And I think they're all targeting slightly different sub-genres within that marketplace. And I think it's a lot less down to personal taste. And I know that was part of the design for the place of Crytek, was trying to look at, okay, how do we satisfy the, you know, where are we going? Are we going for Counter-Strike market, for a Quake market, etc.? Or do we want something unique? And that's the whole reason why PowerShell came up, was to give a unique twist to Crysis and make it different to what everybody else was doing. For the Call of Duty 4, I enjoyed the online experience, but for me it was very much it's something I'd seen before when it was Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
I know Brawl.
Yeah, so I'm sure you do actually. And actually, so Brawl was the first console game that I played online.
On the 360?
On the 360, yeah. I played it for like 20 years and was online.
It was a good game.
It was a very good game online. The first time I realised that you can now do this on console.
Yeah, well, I mean, the console market is probably, I see it as being what the future is for online gaming anyway. Do you think like EA will take that forward and sort of, I mean, obviously Battlefield, we still haven't had our first Battlefield on the next, like specifically designed for the next gen system. Do you see EA sort of taking a strong presence and like bringing out, whether it be different versions of Crisis or different versions of whatever game? Do you think they'll push that a bit more?
On console?
Yeah.
So I think console is a very important part of anybody's plans moving forward with the successful with 360, PlayStation 3 and with Wii. Although I'd also say don't discount the PC. I just think the PC is evolving into a new platform. I think the whole idea of mid-session gaming and the impact that's had in Asia specifically, and I think how that will have personally that will have an impact on Europe in the future. I think the PC will also go through a revolution. And the PC always comes from the concepts at the start, and then as the concepts get older, you see technology move forward. And I do think there's a renaissance coming from PCs. I still think consoles will be incredibly important platforms. I just think the PC's going to have a bit of a renaissance.
And what's going to make that happen? Like, what? Because you have to have games.
Yeah,
we've got Crisis.
Yeah.
That's already it's been out about 5 months.
Yeah, so that's since November. Absolutely. Well, there's as I said, unfortunately there's still other titles I can't talk about because they've not been announced yet. And many of those titles that will be announced will be on console, but they'll also be on PC. And I also think the reason why this will be mid-session gaming will be impact on. World of Warcraft has shown that with its 8 or 9 million subscribers worldwide. And I think there are other titles that will be coming in, so it's whether they're going to be on PC at this stage.
That's good. So what are you looking forward to this year?
That's a tough question. Actually, I need to thought about it. So I'm definitely looking forward to Warhammer Online. But that's because
what online?
Warhammer Online.
Warhammer, right.
But I'm a big Warhammer tabletop gaming fan from many years ago. So I have a personal interest in looking forward to that. Do you know what? I can't really think what else I'm looking forward to. I think the last 4 months I've seen.
There's been a lot of it's been very busy.
Yeah, it has been. I've looked at between Crisis, Call of Duty, Rock Band, Drake's Fortune, there was Mario. I mean, there's been some fantastic titles. I've taken all my time up to the point that I haven't even thought of what's coming next.
It must get difficult to do your job when you've got all these games there. I know what it does for me. I'd rather be playing them. Well, no, I would rather be playing.
It is difficult, and I think that was great for the gaming industry, showing that the number of quality titles that came out during Christmas was just incredible. Right, it makes it difficult sometimes to do your job when you really want to have a quick Rock Band or a quick game of Crisis or whatever else.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Colin. I appreciate it, and we'll make sure we send you the links when we put this live. So
great stuff. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Cheers. Bye bye.